This is the seat of my BMW R45. Perfectly fine, functional, but boring. I always liked pattern seats, but good ones are at least 200 euros. Then one day just a leather appeared on a eBay auction for 25 euros and I was lucky one to get it. The plan was simple, replace black with brown leather because I think it will pair beautifully with the new ivory color. And this is the story of how one small idea escalated dramatically. So I began disassembling the seat. I always knew it wasn't in a perfect condition, but I convinced myself most of it would be reusable. The main issue was that it looked really dull, the edges were not straight, the whole seat looked quite tired of being around 40 years. I drilled out the old rivets and prepared for the reveal. The moment I started peeling back the leather, I realized this wouldn't be a pleasant story. There was rust everywhere, old glue, sticky and foul, paint flaking, metal crumbling. It was really awful. I should use the gloves. And as I dug deeper, it got worse. The rust had spread like it owned the place. I'd hoped to sell the old leather. That dream died quickly. Maybe it can be recycled into something else, but structurally, no chance. Pieces of metal were missing, the edges were wavy, like someone had tried to fix it with a spray can as well. Just paint over the rust and hope nobody looks too closely. And then the mold, a proper mold. I checked it out, that one can return, so the foam had to come off. And here it is, rusty seat pan. The old paint was fused to the foam, everything was one miserable unit. So the plan, restore the pan, upgrade the foam. I went online and ordered a modern setup, one hard base layer, a medium soft top layer, about 3 cm thick, and finally polyester sheets to smooth everything out. Simple in theory. While waiting for the delivery, I attacked the seat pan. I tried removing the rubber bump stops. They defeated me instantly. I was genuinely annoyed. Then I went inside to check the price.
A few moments later.
€4 each, 12 of them, €50 total. Suddenly I was highly motivated to save them. I should use the gloves. The reason they wouldn't come out, rust had practically welded them in place. Then I removed every remaining rivet. Some refused to leave, so out came the drill. The goal, strip everything, even the paint. I used chemical paint remover. I had some in the basement already. Applied it, waited, hoped for the victory. One important thing, mask on. This stuff is vicious. After a couple of hours, the paint began to react. Slowly, very slowly. It was near freezing outside. Not ideal for chemistry. So I did a second round. By nightfall I scraped the top side clean. Then treated the bottom and left it overnight. Paint essentially froze again. So I applied a second layer without stripping the first. It was disgusting, truly disgusting. I attacked it with a drill and a brass brush. Some areas simply refused to cooperate. Heat gun, still stubborn. Third round of remover, this time covered with nylon sheet. Finally success. All paint gone. Time to remove the rust. I bought a large plastic box, placed it in the shower, and nearly a kilo of citric acid, cheapest rust solution available. Mixed it with water. First check after 2 hours, progress. After 4 hours, serious improvement. One part wasn't submerged, so I rotated it a little bit. Dried it quickly with a heat gun. Before that I rinsed it with baking soda to neutralize the acid. Then I flattened the wavy edges. Removed sharp spots. Overnight flash rust appeared. I couldn't coat it immediately. It was quite late and I don't have a proper workspace, so I cleaned it again. First layer zinc primer. Second layer heat gun, helping in the cold. First coat of black paint. Underside on as well. Now these chipped edges. I don't have any welding equipment, so I tried plastic Yule profiles. Heated them into the place. I realized these profiles are not sitting well in place. Either I need a glue or some other solution. Then inspiration struck at the parking lot the other day. I saw a rubber hood seal on a car acting as a protection layer against the stones. It was definitely a better idea. This rubber came with adhesive tape, so no glue needed. It was a perfect solution. Now the seat pan looks factory fresh. In the meantime, foam arrived. Hard base, medium top, thin protective layer. Time to shape it. Measure the base layer, use the hand saw, surprisingly effective. For shaping I bought a cheap heat knife from Amazon. I've had high expectations, but in reality it was underwhelming. It didn't glide through like a butter, maybe user error, maybe weak tool, maybe really hard foam. The D-shaped extension worked really well, so I decided to keep it on. but then it broke. So back to the straight ones. The tricky part was the underside. The seat pan isn't flat, so I need to carve out these bumped parts. First mistake, I cut too much. Glued foam back in with 3M fast foam glue. Second mistake, shaped from the top instead of the bottom. I was able to stretch this broken wire on D-shaped extension, so I was able to work with it again. So here I finally started with shaping the second layer. The wire broke again. Glued layers together. Ventilation is mandatory in these cases. Tried shaping with an angle grinder. Catastrophic dust floor. So I decided I'm going to refine the shape first, then use the grinder carefully later. Some foam is missing. I played Tetris with these scraps. I sculpted the seating bump. The problem underneath is still present. I built a plastic dust cube on the balcony to contain the debris, so finally shaped it properly. I ran out of the glue, I bought more, room temperature is required, windows open. I pressed a little bit wrong on the one side, so I needed to adjust it with extra foam pieces. Old glue only worked foam to metal, not foam to foam, so I needed to use the stronger adhesive. And after a couple of minutes I put everything back into the place. Final shaping on the pen. I discovered I had spare wire for the heat knife all along. On thinner foam, it finally worked perfectly, incredibly satisfying. Added polyester sheet to hide imperfections. Test fitted new leather. First rivets in. Rear section secured with aluminium plates, initially the wrong ones. Removed fresh rivets, replaced it with the correct 4-hole plates. Reassembled properly. I ran out of the rivets, switched to toolbox foam steel. So I fabricated one from scratch. I cut, shaped, sprayed it black. New rivets arrived, leather secured fully. Strap back on, new nuts and bolts. And finally toolbox seal is installed. And do you remember that sticker from the beginning? It is possible to buy a new one actually. I bought a new one for €3.50, replaced it, reconditioned the leather so it looks fresh and ready for a spring. It looks fantastic now, but it took far more time than expected because I have no proper space and no proper tools, and I'm quite sure I did most of the things wrong, especially with the foam, but still, it was quite a journey and I'm genuinely happy and proud of what this became. Please subscribe to the channel to follow the journey and stay tuned for the next steps.